Why does it feel like the people closest to you go quiet the moment you start moving forward? Why does it feel like the rooms that used to welcome you suddenly feel colder the moment you stop needing them? Why is it that the loudest supporters you had when things were bad become the hardest people to find when things start getting good? Most people never see this. They tell themselves it's just life. People get busy. Things change. Relationships drift. But here's the truth. It's not drift. It's distance. And somebody chose it deliberately. The uncomfortable reality is that unsupported people who build without a crowd behind them, without applause, without a safety net of cheerleaders, tend to become the most psychologically dangerous kind of person alive. Not dangerous in the way people fear, dangerous in the way people cannot control. And centuries ago, Niccolo Machiavelli explained exactly why. What I'm about to tell you, most people discover too late. Because by the time they understand it, they've already spent years waiting for support that was never coming. Most people assume that success requires a support system. They believe that behind every great outcome, there was a great team. Encouragers, believers, people who showed up. And sure, that version exists. But Machiavelli observed something much darker about how power is actually built. He wrote that, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." What he understood, and what most people miss, is this. Love, in the social sense, is conditional. Support is conditional. People back you when backing you costs them nothing. And the moment your success starts to cost them something, their comfort, their sense of superiority, their idea of who you are, that support disappears. Consider what happens when someone in a struggling family quietly starts building something. They don't announce it. They just work. They skip the parties. They read instead of scrolling. They save instead of spending. At first, people don't notice. But then something shifts. A small win, a new direction, a quiet confidence they didn't have before. And that's when the comments start. Who do you think you are? You've changed. Don't forget where you came from. That pattern, that social friction that appears the moment you start rising, is not random. It is not jealousy in the simple sense. It is something older and more calculated than that. It is called social homeostasis. And by the way, we'll get to the most important part of this later. Most people who watched this video told me it was the part they wished someone had told them years ago. But first, you need to understand what's actually happening to you. Unsupported people are not unlucky. They are selected. Here's what most people don't realize. Social groups, families, friend circles, workplaces operate like ecosystems. Every ecosystem has a balance, a hierarchy, an unspoken order of who is above whom, who needs whom, and who owes whom what. When you start succeeding without asking for help, without needing the group's approval or resources, you break that order. Your independence reflects their dependence. Your discipline reflects their avoidance. Your progress reflects their standing still. Researchers studying social exclusion have found that groups will apply pressure to members who deviate from the group's expected behavior. Not because the deviant is doing something harmful, but because their difference is destabilizing. Your ambition reflects their stagnation. Your silence reflects their noise. Your results reflect their excuses. And when that mirror appears, when someone in the group starts moving and the rest have not, what follows is not celebration. It is cognitive dissonance. The group cannot hold two truths at once. This person is one of us, and this person is doing what we said was impossible. So they resolve the tension the only way they know how. They decide you are no longer one of them. They withdraw the support first, then the warmth, then the belief, and they call it something reasonable. You've gotten arrogant. You think you're better than us. You don't have time for people anymore. But here's the thing. They are not reacting to who you became. They are reacting to what you proved, that it was possible, and that they chose not to do it. Consider what happens when someone begins to rise above their environment without a single person pushing them up. At first, people watch with casual interest. Let's see how long this lasts. There's no real threat yet. They're still waiting for you to fail. But then you don't fail. You keep going. Without their advice, without their connections, without their money, without their belief. And something shifts. Admiration. That brief, early admiration quietly transforms into irritation. Not loud irritation, the quiet kind. They stop asking how things are going. They start pointing out your flaws in public. Small jabs dressed as jokes. They become experts on why your plan won't work, the same plan they ignored 6 months ago. They find reasons to be unavailable when you need a simple favor. They celebrate loudly when something goes wrong for you. What looks like indifference is concealed fear. Because your independence is a threat to every version of the relationship built on your need for them. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journals that the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The insanity here is specific. The idea that you owe the group your struggle, that your success requires their involvement, that you cannot build something real without going through them first. If they mock your goals publicly, they are telling you privately that your goals are real enough to frighten them. If they minimize your progress, they are measuring themselves against it and losing. If they go cold after a win, they have just shown you the exact limit of their support. That's not a coincidence. It is calculated, and it should never be invisible to you again. Have you ever noticed that you started explaining yourself more around certain people after you began making moves? That you downplay things now? You mention a win in a low voice. You qualify every success with self-deprecation so you don't seem too much. It's not a big deal, really. I still have a long way to go. I just got lucky. That is not humility. That is a survival response. Your nervous system learned, through repeated social feedback, that your success creates tension. So it trained you to shrink it, to pre-apologize for it, to make the wins small so the people around you don't feel threatened. Think about that for a second. You are editing your own results to protect other people's comfort. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by things, but by our judgments about them. But the deeper layer is this. We are often disturbed by what other people's reactions teach us to believe about ourselves. If you have been through this, you know the feeling. The slight heaviness before sharing good news with certain people. The way you check their face before you fully allow yourself to feel proud. That heaviness is not your personality. It is a pattern that was engineered, slowly, quietly, through years of watching your excitement get met with silence. Your wins get met with pivots, and your progress get met with, just don't get too ahead of yourself. The behavior has already reached you. The only question now is whether you are going to keep letting it write the script of your ambition. And if this is making you see your situation differently right now, hit the like button and subscribe. It's the best way to help us reach more people who actually need to understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Not everyone who withholds support does it the same way. And knowing which version you are dealing with changes how you respond. Here are the 4 kinds. The passive doubter. This is the most common. They never say anything directly negative. They just go quiet at the wrong moments. You share something exciting. Silence. You mention a plan. They are not trying to destroy you. They are genuinely uncertain of your ability, and their uncertainty leaks out as absence. If they do this consistently, they are telling you they have placed a ceiling on you, and it's lower than where you are going. The loud supporter who disappears. This one is painful. They were your biggest cheerleader at the start. The hype person, the "I always knew you'd make it" person. But somewhere between the beginning and the actual arrival, they vanished. No fights, no falling out. Just gone. This is not abandonment in the emotional sense. This is social recalibration. They backed you when you needed backing because it cost them nothing. When the success became real and required them to actually show up, they found other priorities. If they do this, they were never invested in you. They were invested in the story of you that kept them in a comfortable role. The strategic saboteur. Rare, but real. This person stays close. They offer advice that sounds reasonable but consistently points you towards smaller choices. They create doubt dressed as concern. I just don't want to see you get hurt. Have you really thought this through? They are not confused. They are not uncertain. They are deliberately keeping you in a range they can manage. They are not afraid you'll fail. They are afraid you'll succeed without needing their opinion anymore. And then there is the quiet withdrawer. This is the most dangerous one, and most people never recognize it until it's too late. This person does not argue with you, does not doubt you out loud, does not sabotage, obviously. They simply stop being present. Phone takes longer to reply. Plans always fall through. The warmth that used to be there, gone. No explanation, no conflict, just absence. And because there's no confrontation, you keep trying to fix something invisible. You second-guess yourself. You wonder what you did wrong. You work harder to earn back something that was removed on purpose. They want you off balance. Slightly uncertain, slightly guilty. Just enough to slow you down. That is not confusion. That is control. Have you ever noticed that the moments when you feel most unstable, when something goes wrong, when a plan stalls, when doubt creeps in, those are exactly the moments certain people reappear. Not to help, to observe. They didn't know what you were struggling with. You didn't tell them. But something about your energy shifted, and they noticed it. They pick up on the slight change in how you answer questions. The flatness in your voice when you talk about the thing that's been draining you. The way you stopped mentioning that project you used to talk about every week. They do not know every detail, but they know something is off. And here is where it gets even deeper. The longer someone has been around you, the more data they have collected. Your emotional baseline, the things that destabilize you, the praise that makes you lower your guard, the type of doubt that lands deepest. Researchers studying influence and social dynamics have found that prolonged proximity builds what's called an emotional map of another person. Not conscious, not calculated in the way a chess player calculates, but intuitive, learned. They know the specific sentence that makes you question yourself. They know the exact comparison that makes you feel small. They know what kind of silence from them makes you reach out first. And when you are vulnerable, when something is already wrong, that is when they move. Not to push you over, just to slow you down. Just enough. They notice. This is what I mentioned earlier, the part most people said they wish they had understood years ago. What does it mean when someone who withheld support for months, who went quiet, who disappeared? suddenly reappears the moment you stop needing them. Do not simply accept it. Here's the thing. People are creatures of pattern. When someone breaks a pattern this significant, they are trying to accomplish something. Sometimes the reason is strategic. They saw something shift in your position. A win landed publicly, a new connection, a visible result. And now you are worth proximity again. They are not returning because they changed. They are returning because your value changed in a way they can see. Other times, it is need-based. Something in their life requires what you now have: your skill, your access, your contacts, your energy. The reunion is dressed as reconnection, but underneath it is resource extraction. And sometimes, and this is the most damaging, it is cyclical. The absence was designed to unsettle you, and the return is designed to re-anchor the dynamic, to restore the version of you that needed them, to quietly undo the independence you built while they were gone. Machiavelli wrote that men ought either to be well treated or crushed, because from slight injuries they can take revenge, but from serious ones they cannot. What he understood is that half measures, in power and in relationships, leave the wound open. They heal nothing. They just delay the problem. The response this situation demands is not revenge. It is not confrontation. It is clarity. You see the pattern now. You name it. You make decisions based on what you observed, not what you were told, not what you hoped, not what they are currently performing. You stop performing warmth you do not feel. You stop explaining your moves to people who were absent while you made them. You stop waiting for permission from people who never believed you were capable in the first place. Here is the real truth about succeeding without support. The people who make it without a crowd behind them don't just build differently, they become different. Psychologically, structurally, at the level of the nervous system, they stop needing external validation to take the next step. They stop calibrating their ambition to other people's comfort. They learn, slowly, through being left alone, that silence is not the enemy. It is the laboratory. It is the space where you figure out what you are actually made of, without anyone's applause distorting the answer. Robert Greene wrote in his study of power that the most dangerous people in any environment are the ones who no longer need the environment to validate their existence. They have become self-contained, self-referencing, internally resourced. That is what unsupported people become. If they survive the doubt, the isolation, and the slow withdrawal of everyone who said they believed in you, they won't admit it. But the people who left were not obstacles to your success. They were the training ground for it. Every time they went quiet, you learned to hear yourself more clearly. Every time they doubted, you built a stronger internal argument for why you should keep going. Every time they withdrew, you built one more layer of psychological independence. They thought they were taking something from you. They were building you. If this opened your eyes to something you have been sensing but could not name, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Someone who is building quietly right now, alone, wondering if the silence around them means something is wrong with them. Tell them it doesn't. Tell them it means they are further along than the people around them can handle. Subscribe so you never miss what we uncover next. The game is already being played. The only question is whether you are watching it clearly. Succeeding without support was never a disadvantage. It was the test. And the fact that you are still here means you are passing it. We've only scratched the surface. There's a reason you found this video. There's a reason you watched until the end. Don't stop here. Subscribe so you never miss what comes next. And watch this video right here. It's the perfect follow-up to what you just learned. This is your education. Treat it seriously. I'll see you in the next one. Stay dangerous. Guys.